over, New York Knicks. Just kidding. But they aren't the only reigning champions today, at least after the Summer League title game in Vegas between the Warriors.
And their butts got tight, man. They puckered up, you know what I mean? So, I mean, some of us are built for the moment, some aren't, you know what I'm saying? So, when you get those opportunities like that and you go attack the moment, then you know you belong in that moment. So, I mean, just our spirit, our will, our desire to not lose is pretty much what helped us out that day.
That was quite the assessment of his opponent there. Jackson Lendeborg, he did win, of course, the NCAA tournament with Michigan, and now he's won the Vegas Summer League title as well. So a heck of a run for him. He joins Davion Mitchell. That happened in 2021 as the only players to win both in the same year, for those wondering. And that is officially a wrap on Summer League. So we thought we would hand out some Summer League superlatives for this rookie class here. Kendrick Perkins, what rookie do you think is the most NBA ready after what we saw in Vegas?
Oh, I got to go with Darren Peterson. I mean, for us, what he did, showing that he loved the game of basketball after all the narratives about him at Kansas, and him going out there and putting on the show offensively, but challenging himself defensively. Then I heard one of his post-game interviews, and he talked about, being able to play on the ball and off the ball, and the combination of him and George and coming into the season. That showed growth, and he wants to play and
How
win.
about the player with most of the upside here, Chet?
Oh, give me Caleb Wilson, because there's only one player in 10 summer leagues that has had 7 threes and 3 blocks in one game. It's Caleb Wilson. But most importantly, people are like, how's he going to do? Transition, all those types of things. 42% from 3. And if we're going to talk about pregame or postgame conversations, he talked a lot saying that, hey, I'm going to be the best to wear the uniform. But I think he's just trying to shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. And he looked like a star in Vegas.
Well done. How about Mr. Spears? Who do you think was the most impressive overall?
AJ. That's old school. Hip hoppers know what I'm talking about. AJ the Dancer. No one had more pressure on him than him. You're talking about a guy who walks in, and the number 2 and 3 pick had already played in Salt Lake and played well, but he was the best show.
Welcome back to NBA Today.
Well, we did have some action over the weekend. A core piece of the Thunder's 2025 championship team on the move. All defensive wing Lou Dort going to Atlanta. This is part of a 3-team deal that sends 3 second-round picks to Oklahoma City. The Mavericks will get a 2024, the number 1 pick, Zachary Risachet, and then they're sending Ryan Nembhard to the Hawks as well. Remember, Dort originally joined Oklahoma City as an undrafted free agent. He was the longest tenured member of the team. So let's say hello to our front office insider, Vegas Summer League party animal, Bobby Marks, who is finally back home and spending his off day with us. Bobby, thank you so much. Let's start with Oklahoma City here, because Lou Dort is really the latest piece from the title team to get moved here. Why exactly did they make this trade?
Well, it's financially motivated, Malika here. And Sam Presti, their head of basketball operations, did something rare yesterday. He talked with the Oklahoman newspaper there and addressed that. Sam only talks before the season and after the season. And when you look at the Lou Dort trade, it saves them nearly $100 million in luxury tax savings. Their payroll has gone down from roughly $570 to $320 million. So it's over $300 million in savings here. And I think the big thing that Sam expressed is now it gives them the financial resources to go out and extend Cason Wallace this offseason, extend A.J. Mitchell next offseason here. And the most important, their core 3 players haven't been touched in this, with Shea, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren still on this roster. So, yes, you lose a starter, but I think in the long run, it could probably benefit Oklahoma City just based on how they're allocating their finances.
So the crux of this was an apron move for Oklahoma City. But let's just zoom out here with everybody and evaluate the scope of this 3-team trade, Perk. Who do you think got the best return when you're looking at this deal?
To be honest with you, I think it's Oklahoma. I mean, because when you think about, them moving on from Lou Dort, and shout out to Sam Presti, because he not only is he making moves, but he's trading these guys away to some good destinations. So shout out to him for doing right by his guys. But when you think about Cason Wallace and you think about A.J. Mitchell, You know, those guys are going to fit right in alongside the big three of OKC, and they're going to take on a bigger role. It's just a difference when you walk into an arena or to a facility or even the start of the season, knowing that you're going to have a bigger role. Because we know that the Oklahoma City Thunder, over the course of the last 2 seasons, this young squad has been asked to sacrifice. Asked to sacrifice playing time, asked to sacrifice their game and their role. And so when you think about these 2 guys and what they're going to be able to do and more opportunities they're going to have without looking over their shoulder, it's going to help the Oklahoma City Thunder tremendously.
Perk, I feel like we might be sleeping on the fact that this move right here might have solidified the Atlanta Hawks as the best defensive team in the Eastern Conference. Because, again, you're going to have to defend with the influx of stars hitting the conference. And even after All-Star break, this squad had the second best defense behind the Oklahoma City Thunder in the entire NBA. And so, obviously, this is what the Thunder's possible starting 5 looks like. But on the other side, the depth chart, particularly for the Atlanta Hawks, these are some solid defensive dudes. Yeah. Dyson Daniels, second team all defense. Jalen Johnson, a two-way type of guy. Now you add into the fold. And NAW, you know, coming off of a great improved year. Now you add Lou Dort, who is known for the Dortcher chamber. This is a squad that now has a full wholesale 180, 360. You leave Trae Young, where everyone knew what the biggest issue was there. They immediately took a step forward. And then Lou Dort, 2024-2025 first team all defensive and 4th in EPOY. So you look at the Hawks, this could be the best defensive team in the Eastern Conference and at the top, rivaling the Thunder in the entire NBA.
And so they give up Zachary Reese-Shea, who they used a #1 pick to draft. And through no fault of Reese-Shea's own, it wasn't the strongest draft class there, but he has had some question marks about what his NBA career could look like here. And Mark, I know that you spoke to Dallas about the way that they are viewing this.
No, Dallas is super excited, and I heard Zachary has already told him that he's super excited as well. You're talking about a guy that Masai Ujiri always goes after. Players with length, athletic. Zach could shoot threes, very low risk. I mean, as Bobby put out, they didn't really give up much for him. And Masai said that he wants to add players to Cooper Flagg that could help him develop. And now you're adding somebody about the same age. Not much financially, well, from NBA standards, $13 million. Right. A lot to gain here. I think it's a great move by Dallas under the circumstances to add a young player who started 73 games 2 years ago.
At the core of this, though, is Oklahoma City, right? A championship team trying to keep their championship core together and try to figure out how they can add another one. So what's the biggest question mark you think that's left, Bobby, for OKC?
Well, I mean, I think the Case and Wallace extension is the big thing. I think he's extension eligible right up until the last day of the offseason, and what's the number going to be. I think, Malik, it's a lesson about the second apron, right? The second apron basically has taught us that you have to prioritize what is of value. And I'm not saying that Lou Dort wasn't a value of Oklahoma City, but when you have these 2 young players on low-cost contracts that are eventually going to get expensive, that's where your priority is right now. But Oklahoma City is not going anywhere, even with trading Lou Dort in this deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions right now about the second apron, and Adam Silver has essentially said that it's being used as intended. It's working as intended, even as we see stars taking less than what they could with a Victor Wembanyama, previously Jalen Brunson, to allow for extensions of other stars. This is what the league intended with this rule, and this is the second apron at work. Bobby, you're free from Vegas. You're free from the show. Go enjoy the rest of your day. We appreciate the time, my friend. Sinead, let's get to some action around the